What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to take a look at this new knife that I just recently picked up. This is the Spyderco Manix 2 in the translucent blue, which a lot of people are raving about. But so I decided to pick it up. Just wanted to see what I thought of it. Now, so far so good. I think I like it. I'm going to go ahead and roll in some really close-up macro shots while I'm talking, just so you guys can get a better look at the knife. But I think it has its good and bad points. I'll first start off with what I kind of dislike about the knife, and it's almost my fault because I was expecting more than what I got, basically. One key point here is it does have pinned construction, so you cannot take the knife apart. You can't even adjust basically the torque screw. Well, it's not torque, it's pinned together, but you can't adjust the tension on this bolt right here. And that was kind of something I was disappointed about because the action on the knife is a little bit stiff. I've carried this one for about a week, and so I've deployed the knife a lot. I like to, when I'm bored, just deploy the knife and kind of get it, as easy to open as possible. And most knives usually do that when you play around with them and use them, but this one really hasn't. You can deploy it quickly, but maybe I'm asking for too much. It just seems like even when I take this lock right here and I pull the plastic piece down, the spring, so it's not riding on the bottom end of the blade in there, it doesn't open very smoothly. I did re-oil it and it helped a little bit, but most knives that I get from Spyderco are a lot easier to deploy than this one. But it still can deploy fastly if you kind of get your technique down. You got to flick the wrist a little bit most of the time. But, other than that, I really like the knife. That's probably just the only I won't say the only down point I have on it, but I was just kind of disappointed with that. I was expecting a little bit more smooth opening, and especially for a knife that's made in Golden, Colorado from Spyderco. Now, right off the bat, they advertise this as weighing 2.85 ounces. So let's go ahead and see what it actually weighs. Zero out my scale. My scale's saying about 2.9. Try that again and see what it says. 2.9. So roughly they were pretty spot on as far as weight goes. I think it's really light. That's one thing I noticed. If you carry this knife in your pocket, it's a really great EDC knife because it is so lightweight. Now, let's do some size comparisons since we're talking about that. Here's Tenacious. What other blades do I have to show you? Well, that's a pretty good comparison right now. There's the Spyderco Tenacious. You can see they're about the same length, and show you the blade differences here. Tenacious blade's a little bit longer. Well, actually, it's quite a bit longer. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch longer, the cutting edge. But they're pretty similar in overall length. Handle materials. The Manix. Sorry about that. The Manix 2 in the translucent blue has this kind of fiberglass reinforced copolymer is what they call it handle. Just a fancy name for plastic. But it has the bidirectional texturing on the handle, similar to what you would see on Delico or Endura, or a Spyderco Stretch, or several different models, which I actually like. This is a different material than that, but I think that it's equally as grippy. It kind of looks cheap when you're looking at it. I mean, it does have a cool, blue look, but the plastic looks a little bit cheap. But when you feel it in your hand, you don't really get that feeling at all. There's no real indication of that. It feels really great in hand, which is one of the really strong points about this knife is just the grip on it. I really like it. You can grip it like this, or you can get closer up to the blade right there. It's got really sharp jimping on the top portion of the blade right here. There's also some jimping on the handle right here. That's pretty sharp, although I think it's more aesthetical than practical. There is jimping in the choil on the blade and also on the handle. don't know if you can catch that on the camera. And then also some jimping on the bottom portion of the handle as well. Now the pocket clip is this wire design. Not sure exactly what you would call that, but I found the clip to be just, well, I won't say cheap, but I kind of get the indication that it is a little bit cheap. The clip is strong, but the wire is pretty thin, so if you ever catch that on something and you're walking by, or you just catch it pretty hard on something, there is a chance that you're going to bend it or tweak it out of whack pretty much. But you know, it works pretty well for what it is, I guess. Just keep that in mind. It is a little bit flimsy, as I hear dogs barking in the background, but can't do much about that. As far as the blade steel, this is CTS BD1 on this knife. I don't have a whole lot of direct experience with it, but from what I've heard from others, it's, you know, it's kind of a budget steel. It's not a real high quality steel, but I think it's pretty good for EDC tasks from what I've seen. And I did touch it up one time with my DMT diamond stones here, this little pocket sharpener, but just put a real thin micro bevel on it, and it seemed to work pretty well. But I think that this is overall a pretty good knife. I think it might be a little bit overpriced. I think I got it for about 75 bucks. And I was just kind of disappointed that it's pinned construction as opposed to screwed together. You can't adjust the blade at all. You can't take it apart, and you can't really take it apart to clean it. You can see that the back spacer in here, it's not an open design, it's closed, so you're going to get dust in there and grime and grit over time. It's going to be kind of hard to clean out, but it is possible. A lot of people love them. I think it's a good knife still. I wish it wasn't as expensive as it is for an EDC knife, and for this blade steel. You know, it kind of depends on your preference for what you want to pay for a knife. But it is made in the USA, which is what drives the price up a little bit, and it is still a great knife. You know, I don't think that the action's off that much on the blade. It still does open smooth, and you can still deploy it pretty quickly, but I guess I'm just kind of used to playing with my Benchmade Griptilian or Spyderco Paramilitary, where the action's just silky smooth. It just pops right open. But, you know, overall I think it's a good blade. Kind of just wanted to share my thoughts and opinion on it. Take it for what it is. I'm not a knife expert, or I don't have tons and tons of knives to compare this one to, but I really like it. Just with the few negative points, the pin construction, and just the blade steel, from what other people have said, isn't all that great of a steel, but it's good enough for what it is. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope these reviews are helpful to you guys if you want to buy this knife. I got this one from Amazon.com. Some places are selling out of them, but you can still pick one up, and I recommend it if you're looking for a knife like this. So thanks for watching as always. Take care, and I'll see you later. Peace.